Morning grade 11s. We are starting now in this one with quickly doing the true shape of the section. For those of you who do not remember, we need to now look at the cutting plane itself, and to get the true shape of the cut surface we need to draw a line that is perpendicular to the cut surface. So in this case that is at 45 degrees, which means we now need to project a line from each of my points on the object where the cutting plane is cutting through that object, which will then create from here a cut true shape of the section. Now this one here, there's just too much. Sometimes we don't have enough space, and there's a few things and places where people make mistakes. So we will have the true shape here. But one that's much easier than that is if we look at the cutting plane, we can either on the left or the right of my cutting plane, we can draw a horizontal line. Sorry, I just need to move this to the construction layer, and let's go back to the construction layer. So from there, if you look at what I've done, there's the cutting plane, anywhere on the cutting plane, but past the view. So it's not going to touch the view here. I have drawn a line that is horizontal to that line. Okay? Which means if I now look in this direction, I'm going to look perpendicular on the cutting plane. Therefore, I must now use my compass, and I must now draw an arc to find those same points on that horizontal line that I've just created. Okay? So I'm sure most of you can follow what I'm doing just now. From there, it is now just a question of I need to project this to the lines corresponding to those lines. So this point here corresponds to that point and that point on my cutting plane. So I drop that one perpendicularly down and I project to them. Okay? The next two will then be this one going down. And remember, I'm only working with the cutting plane, not the top view. I'm working with the cutting plane alone, or the cut surface. And then the last one is this one here, which is that one there, which means it is this one here. So if I now go and join these points will then create the true shape of the cut surface. I draw that in dark. Okay, and like I've done before, I need to go to hatching. I switch off that layer and I put in my hatching. And then the last thing that I need to do is number 2. I can now also copy that. I need to label that XY line or my reference line, the VT, as well as I now need to label the true shape. What I got to remember, or the reason why I got to do that, is that true shape is not one of my primary views. So I need to label it in 3mm guidelines and print it properly. Okay, there is the true shape of the cut surface. Just one thing that I remembered now. What you need to remember about this construction here. Parallel to the base, opposite, parallel to the base. In this case, it is a square. Therefore, this line is at 45 degrees. But if it's a pentagon or a hexagon, that line will not be 45 degrees anymore. Okay, so just remember, when I do this method in finding these points of a pyramid alone, I do have to go parallel to the base. Okay.